There was once a child, delicate in nature, who saw the world not just as it was, but as it could be. This child would wander into the garden every morning, her small fingers tracing the edges of flower petals, as if they were made of the finest silk. The soft breeze would kiss her face, and she would breathe in the scent of earth and blooming life. The world was fragile, she thought, and in that fragility she found beauty. One day, as she played beneath the shade of the oak tree, she spotted a baby bird on the ground. It had fallen from its nest, its tiny body trembling with fear. Without hesitation, she knelt beside it, her heart aching for this little creature that had been so suddenly thrown into a world too harsh for its delicate wings. Gently, as if the bird was made of glass, she cupped it in her hands. Its warmth was faint, its heartbeat so fragile that she could barely feel it. She looked up at the nest, high in the branches, and though she was small, she was determined. Climbing the tree with the bird nestled in her palm, she whispered words of comfort. Her own heart beat faster with every step, not for herself but for the creatures she carried. When she reached the nest, she placed the bird back with its siblings and watched as the mother swooped down, as if to say thank you. The child's heart swelled, not with pride, but with relief. She had done something good, something right in a world that often seemed so wrong. This small act of kindness became a reflection of her soul. As the years passed, she grew, but that soft heart never hardened. No matter how much the world tried to reshape her, she became the person who couldn't simply ignore the pain around her. When she watched the news, the cruelty and the violence of the world broke her heart. She would sit in front of the television, her hands clenched into fists, tears silently falling down her cheeks. It wasn't that she felt weak for crying. She knew her emotions were not a flaw. It was just that her heart couldn't comprehend why people choose to hurt each other. She was the one who would pause in the middle of a busy sidewalk, her eyes catching sight of a trampled flower, its petals crushed beneath careless feet. Most would walk by, not even noticing the damage, but not her. To her, that flower was a symbol of innocence, and she couldn't leave it behind. Kneeling down, she would try to stick the petals back into place, knowing deep inside that it wouldn't heal, yet she couldn't just walk away. Her heart, so full of compassion, wouldn't let her. And it wasn't just the small things. She was the one who listened when others needed to talk, the one who felt the unspoken pain of friends, who wore smiles to hide their tears. Her soul was like a sponge, absorbing the hurt of others, wishing desperately that she could take their pain away. But what she didn't realize was that her very presence, her kindness, was a balm to the wounds of those around her. The world often tried to teach her to be tougher, colder, more indifferent. People told her, "You are too sensitive, you care too much." But she didn't change. She couldn't. Her heart wasn't made for apathy. It was made for love, for empathy, for seeing the humanity in everyone, even in the hardest of people. This is why she was important. This is why she would always be needed. In a world that often prizes strength and hardness, she was reminded that softness is not weakness. Her heart, though vulnerable, was stronger than the toughest exterior. For while others built walls to protect themselves, her heart remained open, ready to give and to love. Kindness, she learned, was the most endangered thing in the world. It was often overshadowed by greed, cruelty, and indifference. People valued power, control, and material wealth, often forgetting the simple power of a kind gesture, a gentle word, or a selfless act. But she existed, and because of that, kindness was never fully lost. Her soft heart, once seen as a vulnerability, was a rare and beautiful gift. It was the reason why people gravitated toward her, why those who were hurting found comfort in her presence. She was the light in the dark corners of their lives, the one who showed them that not everything in this world was harsh and unforgiving. Her heart was full, overflowing with love, compassion, and the belief that even in the worst of times, kindness could change the world. And maybe, just maybe, her soft heart would be enough to remind the world of what truly matters. So she kept going. She kept saving the fallen birds, crying for the injustices she saw, and trying to heal the crushed flowers. Not because she had to, but because it was who she was. And in a world so desperate for kindness, she knew deep down that her heart was exactly what this world needed. Because in the end, it's the soft hearts, the kind souls, who keep humanity alive.